listen. If somebody pays $1,000, right?
Deal. Here we go.
Ready? $1,000.
$1,000.
3.5%.
3.5% of that.
$35.
Oh, okay.
0.5%. $5.
$5.
Which one's better?
To pay $5.
Yes.
0.5%. I do know that. I do know that.
So that from what I've seen, it should save us about 40 to 50%.
Nice.
Yeah.
See, you were doing quick math the other night, and I was just trying to figure it out because obviously I don't know how to run a business, but always trying to learn and understand why I shouldn't say these things. But it's been good to learn. I mean, it's been a wonderful process so far. 3, 2, 1. Let's get right. Welcome back, everybody, to the Click to Close podcast. My name is Travis Halverson. I keep doing this.
Yes, and Preston.
And Preston Guyton.
Were you going to say, let's get ready for the news?
I was going to say, let's get right into the news.
I like the hat.
Hey, thank you for getting me the hat. It's a really nice hat.
I had to buy it.
I keep talking about his Milan hat.
I get smelling.
Melon spelled different. Milan. Melon sponsor
I saw it, and it was emailed to me, or it's popped. Who knows where I got it from?
You're probably clicking on something.
Clicking and
it's
closing.
Been following you.
Clicking and they closed me.
Yeah, no, that's great. See, look at that. It followed you.
So it said the hat is called the Legend.
The Legend.
Like,
oh, wow. I thought you got it stitched inside.
Yeah, I should have left.
I would have 1,000% thought that you got it stitched in there for me. Damn, this whole time. You've let me think for the last 4 hours.
Oh, I know. I knew you thought that too. But the hat is called the Legend. It's actually a legendary dad hat, I guess.
Feels nice. I'm not a dad. I got a cat and a dog.
Well, I guess you're a cat dog.
Cat dog?
Cat dog day.
Come to being on a cat dog.
It's too small for me, though.
Feels great. I have a small dome.
Small dome.
Tiny dome.
I like it.
No math is in this dome.
No math.
We're going to talk about that today.
Yes.
We're going to talk about the struggles of math and Travis.
Struggles of math.
And why Travis has a Preston in his life because he can't run a business or should be responsible for running the business. Just there at this point. I've had way too many late nights with Preston recently where I've told him, hey, man, thank you.
Sorry for that.
A lot of sorries, man. I said, it won't happen again. But
you have to stop saying yes. It's all good, but no, really, what we want to talk about is, for us, it's how much we've been running this business with Chap Like Digital for about 1.5 years now, and we rebranded, which was pretty much like starting a new business all over again.
It's what it feels like.
It's what it is.
Yeah.
We started a new business, although we had existing customers, but we had to transfer them to a new payment processing
They're not even transferred yet.
Which has been freaking amazing.
So if you hear this and you still haven't paid, I'm coming for you. I swear.
Give me my $5.
I'm coming after you.
Where's my $5? You don't remember that movie, do you?
What is that?
I don't know. It was a movie from the 80s, I think.
I would have watched it. I promise you I would have watched
I'm gonna
it.
look
My
it up.
dad, my mom made me watch it.
It was a kid riding a bike, and he was like, where's my $5? And he shows up randomly.
Just randomly?
God, what was his name? I'll have to look it up. Anyway, so we rebranded. Had to set up all new accounts. Had to set up to a new payment processing system, which has been
the worst possible thing ever.
Yeah, but there's something you think about too when you think about payment processing. Like if you're using QuickBooks or Stripe or a lot of those companies, you get spanked on the processing side.
True.
A lot of times it's 3.5%. 3.5%. Yeah, and as your business grows, that becomes significant. So we went with a company called Stacks Payments, which once it's set up, it's actually is going good now. It's just all the invoices are landing in spam. So they say.
That's so funny. Now at this point, it's not in spam.
Yeah. It's in every inbox they have.
What did we say? Multiple channels.
Facebook, Follow Up Boss.
When you said that, you're like, you have been reached now on multiple channels. I was dying.
Facebook group, it's everywhere.
It is everywhere.
But no, I mean, when you think about that, like payment processing, so we pay a flat fee to Stacks, and it goes up based on the amount of transactions we have. But then we pay the credit card companies direct. So, what a lot of people don't realize, like with Stripe, if somebody pays with a debit card, you're still paying 3% or 3.5% a lot of times. Well, if you're paying direct, you're paying 0.5% a lot of times.
You're just saying math to me, man.
I'm just
He's
waiting.
like
I'm
looking
just
at me
waiting.
like, what?
I think there's
are you
cricket.
saying?
I think there's crickets in your brain.
I just heard a bunch of halves and percentages, and I'm just like,
You're like, what does
damn,
that
man.
mean?
I was
So,
like,
hold
what
on.
am I eating for dinner tonight? This would be insane. Because I'm just hearing numbers and about to have a panic
So
attack.
listen, if somebody pays $1,000, right?
Deal.
Uh,
Here we go.
Ready? $1,000.
$1,000.
3.5%.
3.5% of that.
$35.
Oh, okay.
0.5%. $5.
$5.
Which one's better?
To pay $5.
Yes.
0.5%. I do know that. I do know that.
So that from what I've seen, it should save us about 40 to 50%.
Nice.
Yeah.
See, you were doing quick math the other night, and I was just trying to figure it out. It's because obviously I don't know how to run a business, but always trying to learn and understand why I shouldn't say these things. But it's been good to learn. I mean, it's been a wonderful process so far. I now understand, though. Like, I do understand now. Because when you break it down in math, I'm like, oh, you're like, I was fine with this or that, but like that? I'm like, oh, that's why that's bad. That makes sense. I'm like, oh,
and that, that's a problem too. Like when a lot of people set up and start a business, they set up and start a business based on today.
Yeah.
Right. And so as you scale and grow, there's expenses that come in that when you're paying somebody a certain percentage of the number at the very beginning, that might make sense. But then as the business scales and grows, and all of a sudden that certain percentage of the total business becomes a significant amount, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So most people, when they start a business, they think about today. And that a lot of what I share and the people we coach and everything else is like when you're building a business, you got to think about a year from now, 2 years from now, whatever that is. And a lot of times you got to make sacrifices, and you got to hire the people that might not make sense today, but 6 months from now, 12 months from now, they make sense.
Yep, for sure.
That makes sense?
That makes sense now.
Yeah.
So yes, that does make sense. But yeah, no, I mean the rebrand itself has been
fun.
Been interesting.
It's
Learned a
freaking
lot.
Badass logo.
It
though.
is sick. That's why
Sick.
you should have gotten down on my melon hat.
I know.
That'd have been sick right here.
I should just get a melon on your melon hat.
Get a melon.
What kind of hat is that? A watermelon?
It's a watermelon. It's a nice watermelon hat. Thank you. No, yeah, it's just fun just because like having like Nikki and Alex now involved with it and like them understanding and taking more control of like the different aspects of the things that they're doing, like with their calendar links and stuff, and like being able to be ingrained into all the stuff we're doing, and they're staying to their strengths, which you've allowed them to stay in, is great because a lot of them want to just work. And they now know that they have a good brand that backs them, which is amazing. Yeah,
and that's something to think about too. Like I always think about what happens if something, now I hate to say it, but if something happened to me, right?
Yeah.
Like,
oh my God, we would be fucked. It would be
but
bad.
But I'm
I
saying
thought
like,
about that this morning. I literally was like on the treadmill. I'm like, I need to ask Preston to actually like coach me, like, because if he's gone, I am so screwed.
But no, really, when I think about the way I'm setting up a business, like even with John, I talked to John about it. I'm like, I want to make sure everything's in place that if something did happen, because I'm thinking about obviously the people that work for me I care about, but my family as well. Like you got to think about, a lot of businesses don't think about it. They don't think about, what's in place, not only if something to happen to them, but if they were to sell, right? Like if you have a structured business where a company could come in and buy you, and then they could jump in and take over, and you have amazing systems, processes, everything's in place. If they got to come in and just like blow it up and start all over again, I mean, that's, the
Nobody's
value of the business is so much higher if you have things in place where they could jump in and take over. And that's always what I think about. Like I think about, okay, what can I do in this business to, one, if something ever did happen to me, my family's taken care of, and the people that work for me at the time are taking care, or they could take the business and run with it. Or two, if somebody came along and offered us a lot of money or any money, and, then they saw what we had internally with the systems and processes, they're like, oh, I could just plug in here and take it over and go.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, it's super interesting to think about. And I was listening to a video this morning, I think. It's something I think Scott sent me at some point. Scott Bedell. But it's
Does he send you a video every morning?
Oh yeah, he's the most consistent man in the world. Love it.
He's on how many days? 280 days of 18,000
or something like that. I was just like, dude, I'm gonna get a lot of videos. This is gonna be great.
1,200 workouts.
Keeps me going. I was like, I need to just
1,800 or 1,200.
I think it's 1,200, 1,800, but it might be 1,800.
Like 4 years in a row.
I was laughing though, because I was like, Scott, you got to start sending me these earlier in the morning.
Dude,
I'm at the gym.
Scott.
I was like, I'm in the gym earlier, so like I'm getting the videos now when I'm leaving the gym. So I'm like,
when I think of Boston accent, I think it's Scott.
When he called me the other day, I was laughing so hard. Oh my God.
Amazing,
no,
dude.
but it was just, did you, I think maybe it was you, but Rich Dad, Poor Dad? You ever heard of that book?
Mm-hmm.
Have you read that book?
Yeah, I have.
Okay. Can you like break it down for me? Because like I was literally lifting today and like there was a guy who was explaining it. It was a video that this guy was explaining.
I will buy you the book and let you read it.
I can't read.
Okay,
man.
I will send you the credits for an audible. It's actually been a long time since I read it.
But like it talks a lot about like the mindset of things and like how you handle your business and how you handle money and like debt, and like people are always talking about how like you shouldn't be afraid of debt and like you should really just learn how to use debt to make more money. Yeah,
I mean it's a good, in the business world. I mean that's definitely a good book to read. There's a ton of them, but you always see that book that a lot of people share. That's a book you see. Actually bought said there's a teen version, and I bought that for my kids.
Really?
Yeah, like Carson's 13, Sophie's 15 now. But I bought them the children, and they probably haven't read it.
I'll read it. I need to read it.
I'll get you the children's
Give
version.
me the children's version. Is there pictures?
There's pictures.
Fire.
There's connected dots.
There's a pop up like, whoa.
Maze.
Money just, you open it up. No, it's just interesting to learn more about that side of it, because I've always hid behind the shield of I'm just an ISA. I don't need to like take responsibility for the things I say, but I'm learning about it more and more every day. Of like, like you can't say it like that. Like you can't
say you're just an ISA anymore.
Yeah, you can't. And you can't overpromise things, especially if you don't necessarily know the outcome. But if what you were saying is like not thinking about it from the future, if you promise things today and things change in the future, like then you're just going back on your promises, and it just makes you look like an idiot. And sometimes that's how I look. I know.
How's that one call a week?
Oh, man, it's going great. It's now not one call a week, thank God, just because scalability-wise, though, it's great because, like, now I know.
You just got to think, man, and that's, whatever your business is, and just understand that if you're thinking about what you can do today for your clients, you're going to get yourself in trouble if your business continues to grow, right? Because as it scales and grows, they're going to be upset because you're not attached to them as much as you were. So you want to think about it from the very beginning of like, what does it look like as I scale and grow? And like one call a month is obviously doable, one call a month. And we lean on like group calls and all those other trainings, which is very helpful. Mm-hmm. And you bring in good people. That's all it's about, man. You want to grow a business, bring in good people. A lot of times they want to talk to your people you bring in.
Oh God,
like Nikki's
more
than they want to talk to you.
Nikki's calendar link is way more used than mine.
Yeah.
But it's also because like she does great with what she does. Like everybody's like, wow,
she's great at what she does. 100%.
Yeah, she's great at what she does, and it was great. And even Jason was like, hey, I need Alex's calendar link because I need to understand audit lists. I need to understand what any of this thing means in FUB. Like, just I need that sort of thing. I'm like, great. Organizational standards, like there's the good, like what you always done great at. And I think like what did John say? It was like your superpower of just finding talent and bringing talent in. And like it's. You plug people into the right spot and they're going to excel very fast, and like people are going to really understand like what they're capable of doing, especially when you put them in their one path and they shine at that one path. And
I shared a story this morning, and it was actually Steve Jobs. He was talking about one of the things he focused on. He always focused on hiring A players. He didn't want to hire any C players.
God, that'd be nice.
He only focused on hiring the best. And the reason for that, which same thing is when I think about like Easy Home Search. I mean, there's a lot of A players in Easy Home Search now. They're all coming in town next week.
So excited for that.
And you being an A player as well, but A players don't typically get to work with inside a business together with a bunch of other A players.
Doesn't really like
either A, people don't hire them because they're too expensive, or B, people don't hire them because they are afraid because they're better than they are and they don't want to admit it. Or C, it's, like, hey, let me bring in all these, different people and, do this, do that. But I think it's a lot of times fear. And I'm total opposite. I'm going to hire people that scare the shit out of me because they're that good, right?
Yeah.
I'm scared because I'm bringing somebody on that, one, financially might not make a whole lot of sense today, but I know what they're capable of. And then when you get a group of people like that together, what can they build? What can they do? And that's my thought process whenever building a business, like just finding the best people. And then you got to be a salesman, right? Like you got to sell the vision to them and make them want to be a part of it.
Yep.
Because of what they see the potential of it. And that's, for me, that's what I've, with Digital Maverick and Easy Home Search, Reside, we're doing the same things. I mean, even past businesses, CRG, I did the same thing. Palms, we did the same thing. But that's what I do. That's what I focus on is like.
Well, I mean, if you have what I always looked at, and especially when it comes to you and like Easy Home Search and like even with like Checkbox Digital and Digital Maverick now, but like when you can get in on the ground floor of someone's passion and like that's their one thing, that's your baby, like Easy Home Search, right? And it's like, how can you bet against the person that puts everything, his heart and soul into that? Like, you don't find a lot of people that can do that. So it's like every person that's just aligning themselves with you, especially as you build it out, is just like in the best position possible. And I think about it every day. Nikki thinks about it every day. Like we all just like, this is the greatest thing because like we're the types of people that would never let something like that fail. Like I've said it thousands of times. Like I will break my back to make sure DCM succeeds. Like I will work all 70 databases myself.
Sure. And it's Digital Maverick, like it's.
Chris knows that. What Chris is like, you're weirdo.
Yeah.
Andre said it to me yesterday. He's like, you're a monster. Why are you trying to do all that? I'm like, I have to, man. I want to. It's my life.
Oh, dude, I know. I'm the same way. Easy Home Search stuff. At nighttime, morning. People are like, why you get up at 4 a.m? I'm like, why not?
What else is happening at 4 a.m?
I got stuff to do. I got stuff to get done. My kids go to bed. I hop on the computer and I still have obviously spend time with my family and kids, but when I'm not, I'm working, and that's what motivates me. Is to build something and build something special.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
Exactly. Every single day. That's why we do go through the struggles of all of the rebranding.
Yeah. That's why I ask myself 40 different times a week of why don't you just sell and just go bartend in the islands?
So I asked Preston Chris, I was like, have you bartended for us? A long time ago. I was like, we could go do it again. It's on an island somewhere.
And then I go down there and be bored in like a week. I'm like, what the frick am I doing?
I have no internet here. This is awful.
This is terrible. But that's it. You hear people say it all the time. If you don't want to burn it down 40 times a week, then you're not doing something right.
That's true.
That's being, being a leader, growing a business, and it's a lonely thing. Leadership is lonely, man. Like I'm up at 4 a.m. working out by myself, which is fine. I'm gonna get up and do it, but that's just part of my day, and that's those are the things I got to focus on. And you're just not gonna find a lot of people that are willing to do that.
True. That's why I started waking up.
That's why I start texting John. John and I text. I haven't texted him that much lately early in the morning. He's in Central Time now, so.
You're trying to be polite. He's like, I'll wait. I'll give it an hour.
Although he's already up.
Now I get your 5:30 a.m. text and says, like, bench time.
Yeah.
Man, that's great. That's great. So, no, it's going to be good. I'm excited. Future's looking bright.
Yes, sir. Yep, and we'll have, thankfully, after this month, all the processing processing payments will be automated.
Thank golly. So if you're hearing this and it has been 3 weeks since you've heard this,
since you got your invoice,
look at all my text messages.
Time to pay.
If I didn't show up to your meeting, it's because you haven't paid.
Oh, God.
No, we love you all. But anybody that listens to this podcast, we appreciate you guys. I know this wasn't necessarily clicking and closing, but it is.
It is. Well, if we weren't clicking, we'd be closing a business.
We'd be closing a business. Oh, great.
All right, man.
Find us everywhere.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.